Let's talk about your lessons in leveraging. So talk to me about who you are, what you do, and what brought you to the hub.
Okay, I'm Cindy Birch, and I'm the founder and director of the Short Film Awards. And in short, I always say we're the Oscars of short film. We honor the giants, you know, the best talent in short filmmaking. And that includes directors, producers, actors, editors, stylists, all of that. Our award is made by the same people that design and manufacture some of the most prestigious TV and film and entertainment awards that you know, including the Oscars. And, you know, we have an annual event each year. We accept submissions from around the globe, and we come together and have a great time. The hub, I heard about it from Jeff Billingsley from Cobblestone. And I mean, it sounded like exactly what I had been looking for all my life. I've always been a creator. I've always, you know, from the time I was a little girl, putting together shows and workshops to educate, to inform, as well as entertain. But you need a team for that. You know, I have big dreams, big ideas, and you can't do it all by yourself. And you need a network, you need resources. And when Jeff told me about the hub, I was like, oh my gosh. And the fact that it was in Newark, the city where I was born, you know, where that is, I don't care where I live, Newark will always be home to me. So it was just like a dream come true, a godsend.
Cool. Ms. Kimberly?
Yes. So, my name is Kimberly Reid. I am one half of Full Force Public Relations. We are a boutique public relations branding firm. What we basically offer, we're a boutique PR firm. We basically offer branding services, traditional public relations, creative content, digital content. So we do quite a bit of things, and we work with also some amazing photographers. We work with amazing filmmakers, stylists, photographers. We were based in New York, and we decided not too long ago to come over to Newark, New Jersey, because we were basically seeing so much potential from this city. I have a lot of friends here, a couple ex-boyfriends from here. But most of all, I have dear friends that live in this city. I now live in this city, and I have come to see the potential that this city has, especially for creators. That being said, we decided to bring the company here because we wanted to also show the fashion industry that, you know, talent comes from every part of this globe, and sometimes it comes from unexpected locales like Newark, New Jersey. And that was essentially the premise of us starting this company. My business partner, Diana Zapata Rosero, and I fully believe that talent isn't just found in New York City or LA or Paris or Milan or London. It can be anywhere. It can be Newark, New Jersey. It could be Distrito Federal, Mexico, or it could be, you know, Accra, Ghana. It could be anywhere, essentially. So how I learned about the Newark Business Hub, I believe I was watching, how did I hear about it, essentially? I was, I think I was online, and I was reading Brick City Live. I think that's a newsletter. It's an online newsletter that I subscribe to. And they had an article up about it. And then I watched the video, which, you know, and then I was like, oh, what is this? This sounds really amazing. So I looked it up. I went online, applied for it, and myself and my business partner, we got through it.
Excellent. So I'm Kevin E. Taylor. I have been a television producer, writer for, I've been in the industry for 25 years, producing and writing for 23. After I left BET full-time in 2002, came to Newark to pastor here in New Jersey, and then went back into production, you know, Every time I think I'm out, they keep pulling me back in. And I came to Newark because Newark felt right. It felt like DC. It felt urban, but still connected, because New York just felt so rushy that, let me be clear, I hated the idea of people who would look you in your face and not speak. That freaked me out. You know, the people look at you the whole way up the block, and then you just go hello, and they don't speak. And I just thought it was way too much. So I liked Newark because it was close. I liked that when I first moved here, I was in a loft on Market Street, so I could go right to your Penn Station and get on the path back into the city, the New Jersey Transit down to New Brunswick, where my church was, and Amtrak back to DC. So it just felt perfect. There came a time when crowdsource funding became really popular, and one of my friends was like, "This is the time for you to do your show." So in 2014, I executive produced and hosted Now What with Kevin E. Taylor, about people in the transformational space in their lives, people who make big choices and take bold chances. You know, it's like, how do we move all of our greatness forward? And I felt, what better place to do it than here? The first season of it, I felt like, you know, just like we all do in the entertainment industry. I shot half of it in LA and half of it in New York. And then when I went after the second season, it did twice as well in the crowd outreach in the first season. I thought, if everybody's willing to go hard with me, I'm going hard. So I brought it to New, and, you know, sat with Keith Hamilton-Cobb and Kenny Bovian and Peter and Cynthia and Michele Ferrell, and just really having the opportunity to not just engage people in this conversation, but show off Newark. Show that cosmopolitan is what you make it and where you take it, you know? And as this city is so on the rise, that I love people walking down the hallway in my building in the Colonnade. I love security being a part of, you know, my detail team with a list downstairs to say, "Oh, you're on the list," and buzzing me up. It just felt like more than expected from Newark. You know what I'm saying? And so I found the hub through Kimberly Williams, who I work with at Timwork, and she just knew that I was looking to upgrade everything. It's something we'll get into later. For a lot of us, we can be one-man island, one-woman islands. And I was always, I'll figure out social media. I'll figure out and I didn't want to figure out anymore. I knew that there were beautiful and brilliant women and smart and educated men who would do it, but I was wasting the time to try to figure out how to do it. And I figured, why not let them do it? And that's what the hub brought me, the idea of surrendering. So there's something in surrender and leveraging for me. Something to just let me be in a room full of people I trust enough to surrender.
Right.
Yeah. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. What did you know, Cindy, you said it in the way you were talking. What can you own and honor was missing from the way you do business that you hoped was in the room of the hub? Like PR, social media, you know, the right camera people. What was missing for your particular entity that you hoped to find at the hub?
Well, it goes back to what you said, Kevin, about being in this island, you know, and trying to do everything that's needed, from marketing to creating to producing, writing, you know, the whole gamut. And I did all of that, not because, I mean, I enjoy it all, but, you know, not because I wanted to do it all at one time and be, you know, the everything and the superwoman and, you know, super producer. I did it out of necessity because I didn't have, you know, a wide enough network. You know, I had been doing TV and film production for over a decade. And so, yeah, I know a lot of people, but they were people who were dependent upon the system. And, you know, I have, like I said, a lot of big ideas, you know, like I have a lot of, you know, like vision for what I want to see come to pass and how I want to impact, you know, people's lives all around the world. And someone who is tied and dependent upon the system, they can't always see what you see. They don't get it, you know, and they certainly don't know how to get there or how to help you get there. And so I needed a network of like-minded people, you know, people like myself with vision, multi-talented people, people who are open to collaboration. You know, so yeah, camera people, other production people, writers, you know, even people who can help with like event planning, you know, because what I do always turns into some big event. So, and definitely like social media, I was doing that. I feel like I was doing that in its infancy because I had to, you know. So like when AOL was out, you know, I was trying to figure it out and creating, you know, the websites off of those, you know, very clunky sites. You remember, you know, so I was doing all of that, and I had to figure it all out by myself. But there are people who go hard and heavy with that. They know exactly how, you know, how it all works and so please, I give it to you, make it happen.
What about you, Kim?
You know, I think a motivating factor for us to join the Newark Business Hub was really kind of strengthening our foundation. You know, we started this business. It was just the two of us. You know, when we started initially, we grew our client list. We actually had a bunch of interns eventually. Then we had an employee, and you know, we ended up traveling to Paris, you know, for Fashion Week, and just kind of all over. And our business took off in a way that we didn't expect it to. We were this Black girl, this Hispanic girl fighting against, you know, what's, you know, typical and in the norm in the high fashion industry. And it's one thing to be in the fashion industry, but then it's another thing to be in the luxury realm, you know, which is even harder to penetrate, you know. And for us, I think it was adding on to our foundation. There are mistakes that we've made along the way that we wanted to say, okay, that we said, okay, this just cannot happen. You know, we've had clients take advantage of us. You know, we've had things happen to where we're like, okay, we need to solidify our foundation even further. You know, we were doing okay, but we want to be great. Right. We want Full Force PR to be recognized amongst the Carla Ottos of the world, you know, the BPCMs of the world. We want to be synonymous with those top 10 agencies that are essentially the go-tos in fashion, luxury, lifestyle. We want to be that agency. And furthermore, when people walk through the door, continue to give that face of, oh, I was looking for the owners. Oh yeah, that's us, the Black girl and the Hispanic girl.
Yeah. For me, I know that, you know, this kind of really goes back to what you were talking about, Cindy. I was looking for what was missing was support. What was missing was teamwork. You know, was exhausted trying to do a part of it doing kind of the 9 to 5 realm, and then another part to the 5 to 9 realm, and then another part from 9 to midnight. And it was like, somebody must be doing this already. You know, it was always, for me, social media was a very big one because I would follow people who, you know, had 100,000 followers. I was like, how is this stuff happening for them, and who does it? Because I just want to, you know, to engage people who are already doing it. It proved exhausting to try to figure out how to keep opening new doors to find new information that somebody had already acquired and was already doing. So that's what was really important to me. I was praying to walk into the room and honestly find a publicist, find a social media specialist, and like, you know, an artist I could work with graphically, like all right here in Newark. And that definitely happened.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing to add to it too. Coming to Newark, personally, I know so many amazingly talented creatives in this city. And to be further exposed to the talent that's here and quality that's here, I think so many times people underestimate the talent that's in this city. I mean, especially when it comes to the creative industry, because so many times, even the businesses that are already established here, the mega corporations and firms, they always go across the river, across the Hudson to source their talent, when there's so many amazingly talented people within their own backyards. Right. And to further have the hub solidify that, you know, it says something. it says that we're on the right track here, being in this city.
Absolutely.
So here's a question that we were talking about earlier that really does like open up some of this. If it's all here and we're all about this grind and we moved away from New York because nobody was about connectedness, what does it take for an entrepreneur to be vulnerable enough to leverage all of this access to all of this greatness and surrender? What did you need to do? What needed to happen for you to be able to trust that these great minds were as great as you in their own field, and that you could give over to them the part of you that you couldn't do, didn't want to do, that they did so brilliantly well?
I think for us, you know, we moved away from New York, you know, physically, but we were still deeply rooted in there. We run back and forth all the time there. You know, I live right by the train station just so I could literally run in 2 seconds and be on a train. But I think that word that you used, Kevin, vulnerability, it's so rare to find entrepreneurs that will open themselves up and say, hey, I need help.
Right.
Hey, I can't do this on my own. Hey, you know, your specialty is this. You know, hey, can you help me out with that? You know, and it takes a lot for business owners to say, and entrepreneurs, because you really don't want people knowing your weaknesses. You don't want people knowing your vulnerabilities, because they, you know, out of fear that might make you seem somehow incompetent. How? You know, how? You know, we have an accountant, we have a lawyer. Why? Because I didn't go to law school and I don't know the first thing about arbitration and all this legal term mumbo jumbo that our lawyer uses in these contracts. I'm like, what is this? You know, but it should be the same for social, you know, social media. People come to us all the time when we go to events. You know, we were just at our client, one of our clients, Nakon. She does a charity event with the Dallas Cowboys. We went to Dallas for that event. You know, we met a lot of amazing people there. And some of the first things people do now when they walk up to you, hey, what's your Instagram?
Right.
Go on Instagram, and they say, oh my gosh, you guys have an amazing Instagram. That's something I need help with. I can't do that, you know? So it's the NewArk Business Hub. It's like one place where different entrepreneurs share their vulnerabilities and say, hey, guess what? I can help you with that if you help me with this, and vice versa. You know, I think it is a it's an incubator in a sense, and a safe haven to say, hey, you know, let's strengthen not only ourselves but each other.
Yeah, and what you said, Kimberly, about you know, entrepreneurs not wanting to be vulnerable for fear of seeming incompetent.
Yeah.
You know, that was a lesson that I learned a few years back as a TV producer, working with this wonderfully amazing woman who is just so generous in spirit and of knowledge. You know, she will just, if you need information, she will just give it to you. You know how some people kind of hoard information, and but she is just very generous in that way. And I watched her as executive producer of a few shows that I worked on. And I mean, she's brilliant. She's multi-talented. But if she had a question, if she needed information, she asked. And she did not worry about who thought what. You know, she didn't worry about, you know, people thinking that they were smarter than her. Or she knew who she was. She knew her strengths. And she embraced that. And again, she embraced other people's talents and gifts. And she did that. She taught me as well, like, get to know people. How else are you going to know if you don't get to know and see and observe? And you can trust, because, okay, well, I watched them here and there. I've seen what they did on this. You know, I hear how they talk, and, you know, and I hear the knowledge and information that they share, the wealth of knowledge that they have to give. Okay. You know, so you really have to network. You really have to get to know people, spend time with people.
And that is so key, Cindy. And I think that's the key word that we don't do a lot as entrepreneurs. Network. We're so caught in our daily grind, day to day, head down, you know, in the computer, in front of your computer, at the laptop, running here, running there, caught up in the daily grind, that you don't place an importance on networking, going out, getting to know people. You know, we went to this event, and then our client took us around so many places to meet so many people, and people that are like, oh, wait a minute, you guys do her PR? Oh, I need to speak with you, you know, or even going to, you know, events in the city at some of our friends' places, you know, and then meeting these people and, oh, you guys were the one that produced that film that's now at the Berlin Film Festival. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Can I talk to you? Just networking goes a long way with entrepreneurs. It's just sometimes we're in that hermit crab phase where we don't want to come out, you know, because we just feel like we have so much to do, and it becomes overwhelming to the point that you get stuck where you don't want to do anything because you feel like you have everything to do, you know? So it's good to interact with like-minded people. And again, going back to vulnerability and saying, man, I had a crappy day. Let me tell you what happened. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. I had a crazy client too, like that did this and that and that. And then you realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm not so unique.
Right.
Everyone knows you do. You know, exactly.
The thing for me that this brings up when we talk about the vulnerability up, for me, is forgiveness. And, you know, sometimes there are entrepreneurs who get moments that they're not ready for. And so I realized in the hub that I had to forgive previous entrepreneurs, people who say I'm a publicist, I do social media, who stepped up to try to do it, but then got overwhelmed because the project was more than they thought it would be. You know, when you come to my space, you see all that music back there. That's from 23 years at BET. There are gold and platinum plaques up, and people get overwhelmed and go like, I don't know how I can help you. I was like, do what you do. That's it. Right. Don't be overwhelmed by the stuff I have. I need you. And there were people who let me down because they just couldn't figure out how to do what they do and still see it in the space that I'm in. You know what I mean? So, you know, this is going to come up in a future question, but I'm going to bring it up right now because I sat with one of the fellows in the hub, Patricia Collins Roach, who runs Best Kept Secret social media marketing, you know, and she came in and I was thinking, oh, I really want to talk to her about helping me grow, you know, my followers. I had seen a previous blab where Nikki Woods was like, you know, because I was like, don't people figure out whether or not they're going to use you or hire you based on the number of followers? I only have about 3,500 followers, but you know, she's an expert, but she was like, have you seen who follows you? I was like, but nobody talks about that. They talk about the numbers. They don't. Says the weight of and the importance of the people who are following you. So she really made me realize that my time is right now. And so when Patricia and I sat down for a meeting, you know, it was beautiful to be talking to her about this stuff. And she looked and said, "So how often are you pushing your books in your T-shirt line?" And I was like, never, because I got 18 things to do, and that's still time number 20. And so she's like, and she said to me, so you mean that there is money sitting on bookshelves that you aren't taking the time to make? And I was like, but I don't have the time. She's like, that's my assignment. I promise you, the voice of Jesus and 16 angels came into the room because I was like, yay, somebody who came with a forward-thinking idea instead of just hearing what I said and trying to force it down my own throat. I was like, all I got is what I know. If you know something different, God bless you. You know what I mean? And that's what's great about the collaborations in the hub. It feels like, you know, when they always talk about not being the most, not being in a room where you're always the smartest. I love being in a room where I'm not the most creative. You know what I mean? Where somebody can say, oh, I have an idea about that. And I'm like, look at you. You know what I mean? It makes you feel like you get to open up another portal of your brain. You know what I mean? The logical gets to follow their creative, or your creative gets to tag onto theirs. You don't always have to be the fire starter.
Right.
And for me, it's like that Whitney Houston song where she said, he fills me up. You know, that's why I love to be around other creative people, because especially as an entrepreneur and a creative entrepreneur, you pour everything into your projects. They're your babies. And I mean, you know, that energy, all that time, all that love, all that passion, you know, it depletes, and then you need to be filled up.
Agreed. And that, that goes back to what I was saying about being in hermit crab mode a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's you're so consumed with your day to day that you start to lose sight of your passion sometimes. It almost becomes, this overwhelming burden because you don't take the time to say, okay, I cannot do everything. I have to at some point recognize that and start to place importance on that.
Exactly. And you're right. Oh my God. And for me, the hermit crab thing had so become about being creatively exhausted. Like because oh yeah. Yeah, because for me, like having had, a measure of success, it's like, oh, the big wig just walked in the room. I'm like, I'm 51. You're 25. Teach me some stuff. Or take this baton. I don't, that's why when grown folks text me,
are you 51?
Text? I ain't listening for no text, man. What are you talking about? Call me. So when a young person says I can push one button and get you to 1,000 people, I'm like, yeah, you do that. Go ahead and do that. Take that, because it's exhausting. My hermit crab was rooted in always being pulled upon instead of being able to pour into when I went out. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to teach me what you know. Show me. You impress me. I've come here to be in the audience of your greatness tonight. Show off.
And you know what? That is something you said that's key too, Kevin. Well, first of all, something you said, 51? Really? Wow. I need to use your face wash. And secondly, it's, like you said, that kid that may know more about a certain particular subject than you do, give them a chance. And so many times we've sat in meetings with people, and the first thing that works against us is not even a lot of times our race or ethnicities, but it's the fact that we're young. Because half the time we go into these meetings and people are already like looking past us as if to say you're just the intern, move over, because you're so young. And then when they realize, they sit down with you and say, oh, okay, you do know something. So the fact that you are an entrepreneur that says, I don't know everything, I can learn something from someone, even if they are, half my age, or even if they're a few years younger than me, or, even if it's always expected as if they'll, we don't know anything because we're young. And sometimes that does work against us, unfortunately.
And there's got to be the beauty of that, that collaborative spirit, because, we can't look at this new technology that came out when some people were in their young, sharp prime, and we barely can answer, hook up our VCRs, right, and act like I'm supposed to be the expert at this. You know what I'm saying? It's like when Instagram came, and I was like, wait, so I can load this here, and then push this, and this, and it is now on my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Tumblr at the same time. Woo! You know what I mean? Because remember, MySpace was a thing for me. Like, ooh, look at this. You just or Black Planet. Hello. So to have this stuff that to have people joining us in this conversation from their various places in the world is just amazing. So what does it felt like as it relates to collaboration inside the room? I know we've got projects that we're all working on. What does it felt like to be working with a room full of other creative fellows?
I know that, I've definitely, we haven't dived in yet, but there are definitely people that we are definitely excited to work with, that we've already spoken to, that we're like, hey, let's get this going. Let's work together. Because at the end of the day, it's proving something to us that I don't think, if the hub wasn't here, would we have really had the opportunity to sit down with each other and to even understand that, hey, this is what I do, this is what you do, you can help me and I can help you? Because essentially it's entrepreneurs supporting entrepreneurs. And that fact excites me. Going back to the networking thing, I hate going to these things about, and you see an entrepreneur speak, right? And they're telling you, oh yeah, guys, it's so wonderful. I just decided to start a business, and then the next day, I'm a millionaire.
It just happened that so-and-so called me. Whoa, stop it.
Oh, Yes, you know, and oh, it just happened like that, huh? There weren't days that you were doing the books by yourself and felt overwhelmed. It's like, why am I doing this myself? Why don't I have a book? Why don't I have someone that can do this? You know, or tell us about those points where you felt, you know, like you just wanted to chuck it all and say, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to go back to this 9-to-5 thing, and that'll work for me because I get a guaranteed paycheck every 2 weeks, you know? Tell us about when you get to that point, how do you keep going? And again, that goes back to the vulnerability of entrepreneurs and not wanting to share certain things. You know, so when it comes to collaborating with my fellow hubmates, I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
Cindy,
Yeah, I just came back from the American Black Film Festival, and there were about 6 or 7 fellows down
there. A bunch of y'all were there, exactly.
And when I tell you we were working Miami, like I felt like we owned the town, okay? Because we were just, sometimes we would, you know, we would meet up, where you going to be, but then other times they're working over there, I'm working over there, and then we all come together, and then it's like, who did you meet? Okay, oh, you know what, you got to meet this one. Oh, okay, look, this is what we're going to do next, you know? And so it's like, all of us like working that festival and that town together, like we have just increased all of our networks and resources. You know, it's like we all each have our own individual, you know, projects and properties, but we know that, yo, I can go to Jeff of Cobblestone and be like, hey, Jeff, I need somebody such and such. Do you know anybody? You know, and Jeff will be like, oh, I got the right person, or, you know.
Oh my gosh, I know.
You know, like now I feel like I can do anything. I told them when we were down there, I said, I am so ready to get back to writing and creating. And we are all going to have some projects here next year, you know, because we've got the support of each other. We've got the networks of each other to depend on.
Right, right. And that is key. You know, I love Jeff because Jeff is definitely one of those entrepreneurs that's like, oh, hey, you need something? I can't do it, but I know this person that can. You know, he is amazing like that. And just to even meet someone like him, it's rare just to be in a supportive system of fellow entrepreneurs that they're not, you know, kind of doubting you or kind of trying to keep everything to themselves, but rather wanting to share, wanting to collaborate, wanting to do things, you know. It's refreshing. It's definitely refreshing because I know that I was reading an article today on Business Insider, and it's interesting because, you know, it talks about millennials. Everybody's always talks about millennials, and I'm lumped into that group of millennials. And, you know, I'm like, okay, don't lump me in because people always talk about millennials. It said, you know what? People always talk about millennials like it's this rare species that no one wants around. It's like, ugh, people don't want to work with them. People don't want to do anything with them. But the fact of the matter is, you know, there are millennials out there that are grinding, that are on the grind, that want to collaborate, that want to work with fellow entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter, you know, what age you are. It doesn't matter whatever. But the hub definitely provides a space where collaboration is possible.
And you know what else excites me about the fellows in the hub is that they are all fearless. You know,
right.
You all are just so fearless and bold. I mean, I don't know what's going on the inside, but on the outside, you are just fearless and bold. You go out there. You're not afraid to talk and to network, because there was a time I was, you know, shy with people that I didn't know. So networking was a very hard thing for me. But you are not shy, and you have these ideas, and you seem very confident in them, and you go forth and you make it happen. And I mean, just to be in your presence and to be named amongst you, you know, was an honor for me.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's talk about this, because something that I was thinking about, that I feel like could really do a reboot for us as entrepreneurs is, let's talk about leveraging and vulnerability as it relates to maximizing resources. Because I wonder what it will take for us to value who we are strong enough to be able to say, yes, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm grinding. I might not have your budget, but I looked at your website and you need a new bio and I need blah, blah, blah. how do we get ourselves in a language that almost takes us back to old school bartering as it relates to entrepreneurship and being able to find, and to use each other usefully, instead of, like you said before, Cindy, Kim, you were talking about how we almost always have to look, afraid to not look successful. You know what I mean? And
right,
I can't pay you, I'm not successful. It's like, it's not necessarily that I can't pay you. We have something that each of us needs. You know what I mean?
Well, I definitely think it's a delicate balance because at the same time, it's like, for example, we have to, like Tonie said, allow each other to grow. And I think that's key. So it's a delicate balance with not just barter. For example, Diana and I need headshots in the worst way. I had Tonie craft an amazing picture from a picture I took off of Instagram of myself. It's a shame. I don't have a headshot as a professional. It's awful. Okay. So for Tamara, I'm speaking with Tamara, and I'm not expecting her to give it to me for free because her time and all my hub fellows' time is money. Now granted, she's not going to give me a rate. She would just give, just a regular client walking off the street because, we recognize that we are hub fellows. But at the same time, I'm not expecting her to do it for free, But if it's something that's, let's say maybe she needed something immediately as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
Say, you know what? I'll do your headshots. Can you just do this for me?
Exactly.
That's the beauty of the barter system with our fellow entrepreneurs.
Exactly. And I think that you're right, because we are so used to people trying to pimp our genius, and it's like, well,
yes.
Come on, what you mean 750? It's like, wait, you want me to blank and blank and blank and blank and blank?
Yeah.
Just go out and price that and come back to me. So, but you're right. Once we find that delicate balance to be able, like you said, to see the immediacy of, so what do you charge for a month of social media? So how about I write you a bio and you do a month for me, and then in a month in we check in and see where we are. And if you did what you said, I don't mind paying you here, going forward. But like you said, to see the immediacy of needing each other. It's really
exactly.
Well, I also now talking about collaboration and projects, now I'm always thinking when, these projects that are in my head now, okay, who in the hub does what that could help with this project, or, and then, okay, my next thing is, okay, so I've identified someone. So then my next thing is, okay, how can they benefit from it financially and in any other way, whether it's building brand awareness or, but that's why I'm always thinking, okay, how can they financially benefit from this as well? How do we split the profit?
Exactly.
So,
and that's the key that I think, like you both said, it's how can we both benefit from this? Even though, sometimes we may barter, but we're both benefiting because it's helping, to reach our clientele or broaden our clientele base, and at the same time, it's like, well, I need headshots. So I have to pay for them if I go outside of the hub. I have talented photographers. We have Tonie and Tamara. Why don't I ask any of my hub fellows? And I would rather pay you than to go outside, because either way, if I go to, I don't know, any one of the plethora of photographers we know, I have to pay them.
Right.
So why not pay my hub fellow first?
And it's so interesting you talk about that right now. Exactly. Because if you look at it, it's like, here's somebody on the background grinding, and then you're so used to that, and then it's like, oh, I'm putting myself out in the forefront. I don't have, my social media is not tight. I need headshots. I look a mess. So we got stylists in the room, photographers in the room, social media. And it's like, now I look like the genius I sound like I am because of what I come in with, right? And so now I'm short film worthy, right? Because we really we got to get bigger than just, even like you said, the immediacy of it. In this room allows us to vision, like, wow, I could really do outreach. I could really, now it's time to do my website, because I got the person who do the website, shoot the pictures, make me not look like a mess, and tell my story, all while I just do what I do.
Absolutely, Kev.
And you know what I found as a TV.
We have the dream team at our fingertips.
Yes, Tonie. Yes.
That's it.
What I
Right at our fingertips. Boom, boom, boom.
As a TV producer over the years, you know, you meet a lot of people who try to hold everything very close. I kind of mentioned this before, whether it's information, whether it's opportunities, you know. But what I found, what has kept me going, like over the years where I would get project after project and clients would keep coming back, is by being open and generous. You know, I truly believe in that principle, that the more you give, the more you receive, you know.
Right.
And so that's how I think about my fellows here. You know, what can I give, from encouragement to referrals to, you know, my talents, my services, to some money in their pockets, you know, to help grow their business. And I know that I don't have to worry about what else someone else has, or what someone else is doing, or what someone else is getting, because as I continue to give, it comes back to me. You know, even if it's not from that person, God will make sure I get it back. So
Exactly. So we're open to questions. Where y'all is? Talk to us. So how does that part happen? Because
I know the question and answer. I don't know.
I know. So I mean, I think, you know, it's so exceptional that we end this whole the blab process and this whole kind of journey as fellows in this leveraging conversation, because, you know, there's a moment, you know, on June 30th, after all of the structured classes are finished, where we get to determine what our relationships really are. It's like, Cindy, I know that you and Full Force don't necessarily take on it, but I'm looking for a book deal, and I feel like the way you all rock style, we should go this way. And if you ain't been to how about we all go together? You know, I just really feel like you said, there's a dream team component to this that is going to allow a number of us to dream. You know, Oprah says that after Hub, I feel like it's time to dream bigger dreams. Because, so, you know, we get to look at what God has done for us and how far we are from where we ever thought we could be, and we're just getting started. You know, I'm also a pastor here, and my sermon on Sunday is Rush to the ER, right? And the ER is about not living in your greatness, but your greaterness. And how for us to move in a sweeter life, a richer life, a broader life, a purer life, a deeper life, and that ER is essential, because so many of us struggle with being so much more than our parents, that being much more than I thought I was going to be and have already been is overwhelming. For you to be this gangster and still be a millennial, for you to have traveled to Miami and be thinking like, whoa, I thought I got 17 more ideas. That's overwhelming, you know?
Yeah. Agreed, Kevin. Agreed. So true. So true.
Okay, so and this has definitely happened. There are a number of people that we have met as entrepreneurs. You know, especially when we were at the Mary O'Connor lecture, and there were people like, "What is this? I didn't know anything about this." So you can learn about the NewArk Business Hub. We are and will ever be the inaugural class of the NewArk Business Hub. We pray for 5 and 500 more. So go to NewArkBusinessHub.com. Find us on Facebook at NewArk Business Hub. You can go to Twitter. It's NWK Business Hub. You know, just look for God bless. Look for Jeff Billingsley. Oh my God! You will find everything you need.
He is everybody's.
Down, get up. Exactly. He's big Uncle Bob. Come here, boy. You to here. Take this on. He is just a plethora of resources. And Miss Tonie, who's over there quiet, handling the NewArk Business Hub, is a plethora of social media mavenhood, and so everything in this space. And so we need to invite people, now that we've got the door open. Y'all need to use them pretty Manolo Blahniks. I know are on your feet, Cindy. You know, and you're on your feet, Kim, and that Kate Spade bag. Hold the door open and let somebody else in, because this is what I've never imagined as it relates to opportunity. right?
Yeah.
So I was telling people, oh, I've got this grad level class that I'm in, because that's what this is. This is graduate school for entrepreneurs.
For creative entrepreneurs, I went to Rutgers Business School. I have my MBA in marketing, and the closest I could get to creative entrepreneur was also a concentration in arts management, which really was a nonprofit. And, you know, I mean, my business is a nonprofit, but it still wasn't creative entrepreneur, you know. And so I'm telling you, the hub was a godsend. And I only found out about it the day before the deadline. Thank God for Jeff Billingsley of Cobblestone. Yeah, the night before. And he went home, sent me the app. I filled it out in the morning, and that was it. So,
And mine was almost like that, because Kimberly Williams had talked to me about it. She's like, you need to be a part of this class. And I was like, okay. And I think they had sent me the application or something, and it got lost in the, because I, you know, even in my introduction, I'm a pastor. I'm the director of administration of a women's and children's shelter, because I still got to have a 9 to 5. I'm an author, you know, and it's all the stuff I'm trying to do. And I appreciated somebody who understood the richness of this so much that she was on my email that night, like, what's your email now? There's the application. Fill it out now. Did you send it? You know, because you cannot, for somebody to care enough to say you cannot miss this opportunity.
Right.
So
and I've seen it grow by leaps and bounds already.
Full force, closing statement?
Yes, closing statement. Basically, you know, I am just grateful. That's the word. I'm thankful to be a part of it, especially the nonprofit, and just meeting people that crossing paths with people. You know, they always say everything and everyone in your life happens for a reason. You know, whether that be for a reason or a season. You know, it is what it is, but I think it's you know, us coming together and growing together. And that experience it's just absolutely invaluable. You just cannot put the price on it for what we've received. So grateful. That's the word that I'm walking away with, and that's the feeling I'm walking away with.
For me, I am sad that our training sessions are coming to an end, because I'm telling you, it has just been monumental to be in the room with you all, you know, every 2 weeks, learning, growing, sharing. But I am committed to making sure that we all stay tight, you know, and that we continue to collaborate and come together, to inspire, to encourage, to support one another, to work together, you know, for ourselves, for our businesses, and for the city of Newark. And I encourage anyone else who is like-minded, creative entrepreneurs, you know, whatever stage you're at in your endeavors, to look into the Newark Business Hub and get involved. Get involved. You will not be sorry.
So I mentioned earlier, you know, about greaterness, because I think that as entrepreneurs, we can inadvertently sometimes plateau, because we get so lost, so caught up in, so, you know, working in the minutia of what we do, that we don't get a moment to breathe and see that there's higher levels, like you saw in going to this meeting, like you saw in going to Texas, and to be able to be in a room full of people who help you throw that switch that makes you see more, like you know, again, I have my sister friend in DC, Kia Smith, I want to speak her name, because she said, you think you're struggling with your greatness. God is trying to prepare you for your greaterness. And it was like, wait, there's more? People have already done too much, and God wants me to do more. And I didn't know how that more was possible until I walked into the room with these creative geniuses. And I go, oh, if you and I work together, then now my arms are available to stop carrying all that weight. And if you are helping me with this, now my brain is going twice as fast. And so I'm so grateful. I'm with you, Kim. It's it's gratitude. It's angst. It's excitement. You know, I've told people before that anxiety, excitement, and nervousness are all the same energy, and you decide how you get to channel it. Before this process, I was nervous about my greaterness. Now I'm excited. I'm excited about who is going to be in the photo spread with me when I hear evidence to be. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about all of us doing. See, look at that. That teacher right there is part of the shelter where I work, and people stepped up. That Malik Whitaker got a picture of a piece of his artwork that he did that features an image that he created of Amiri Baraka, and that he was able to take that and wear it in front of the mayor, who's like, give me one of them shirts. You know, that this is what we even do at the women's shelter. This is our social enterprise program. And my boss believes so much in this that she was like, every other Wednesday from 9 to 1 o'clock, I don't expect to see you. Go there. Because us growing.
Kevin did this t-shirt for us. Thank you, Kevin.
Welcome, Sophie. Hey, Miss Sophie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to post this too. I'm going to send that to you, Tonie, because this is how we grow. I've been telling Malik, I was like, Malik and Simi and, you know, some of the marketing, you know, the artists, it's like, imagine people wearing your art who can't put their hands on it. You can't own a piece for $600, but you can sell 600 pieces for $20. You know what I mean? It's like, we have to be able to vision our greatness where we are, not where we used to be. And so many of us are stuck in where we started on the finish line that we have not realized that we're closer to the summit than we are to the base. Well, that's gonna preach right there.
Yeah.
Keep moving. Don't look back. Oh, that's good. Let me write that down.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. This was great. I'm so glad that history has recorded it. I'm so glad that somebody will be able to look at this and go, that's what I've been looking for. That's it. You know, that we, you know, that you know, there it is, Tonie. We're moving on up, you know. We're moving
like Tonie said.
You know, you remember, and that's what's crazy about this, that we are people who have lived from the Evanses and the projects to the Jeffersons in their high-rise tower, to the Huxtables who own the house while they are the doctor and the lawyer, to giving birth to children who could do anything.
Yeah.
That's even greater than the Huxtables, is that they have children who can do anything.
Yeah.
That we are in the Barack and Michelle Obama era. Our children now consider anything in the middle of Black Lives Matter, in the middle of police brutality, in the middle of madness. There is still that portal open that makes them consider everything is possible.
Absolutely. 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 Sky is truly the limit.
Yep. The limit. Let's fly. Let's fly.
Yeah.
So let's make sure that we put, great thanks to, so I believe that Tamara Fleming, Kimberly Williams, and Jeff Billingsley are our entrepreneurs in residence. And big shout out to Dr. Lanier Richardson. I don't know what his title is, but he got Dr. level of brilliance to him. And the CUBE, the Center for Urban and Entrepreneur, I don't even know, but it's CUBE, CUEED, at the Rutgers Business School. This is the stuff that takes us, those of us who have been working so hard and who are already, contemplating how we could continue to soar. This is taking us to eagle status. So we are.
And to Jasmine, Cordero, who's been there, helping us along.
Within the room, every class.
Single class. Helping us with mundane things. Miss Tonie.
That's what that is. Here's the story of a lovely lady. So we're the creative Brady Bunch, so let's point at each other. That's Cindy.
There we go.
So, bravo. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Lanier. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Tonie. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Kimberly, and Full Force PR.
Thank you to all the, professors and business professionals that were so generous to be a part of this, that gave their time Whip to be with us, to help us grow and be excellent. Thank you to them.
Coaches,
Oh, no, I'm just getting ready to shout out my coach.
Coaches, yes.
Susan Scheer, who is my coach at Artisan, when she did her introduction to the first class, I begged for her to be my coach because she said that shook my entire soul was, I am here for people who say, I'm looking for a me for me. That thing was like, oh my God, that's it. I wouldn't even know how to let that escape from my mouth, but that's it. I came to Newark Business Hub looking for a me for me, and I found 22 of them.
Nice.
So,
all right.
Peace and increase, and I'll see you all at graduation.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greatness. Leverage the people you know right now, and ask them not only how you can be useful to them, but find out how they can be useful to you. Stop trying to figure out how to sew when your best girlfriend has her own sewing machine. Boom.
Yes.
Right.
All right. Newark at this level, that you would be so bold as to bring together this idea, this vision, and these collaborators. All of us is this is a moment that will get real biblical, but this is an Esther moment. Perhaps we were born for such a time as this. This is.
I received that.
Bye, guys. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you. Be blessed. Be well. Be brilliant. Do you? All the rest of the spots are taken. That's it.